Here are today's top stories. The House of Ways and Means Committee approves in principle the second package of the train law. Monsoon rains caused floods in parts of EDSA, stranding commuters early Friday morning. The PNP and AFP find links to the Abu Sayyaf in the bombing at the checkpoint in Lamitan, Basilan. And the ARMM donates the proceeds of its regional food fest to the recent fire victims in Sulu. Good day, I'm Pia Rosas Murato. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. House lawmakers have approved in principle the second package of the train law, which will lower corporate income tax for businesses. More on this from Miguel Hill.
The House of Representatives Ways and Means Committee approved in principle Train 2, the second package of the Duterte administration's comprehensive tax reform package. The committee, chaired by Quirino Representative Dakila Kua, also created a technical working group that would draw up a substitute bill to consolidate all related tax proposals by the lawmakers. Approving the bill in principle means that the measure will be tackled as a package rather than per individual tax proposal. Kua said his panel is working double time to pass the legislation which both Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo and President Rodrigo Duterte listed as a priority. Package 2 aims to lower the CIT paid by some 95% of businesses and at the same time retaining and providing new fiscal incentives for deserving recipients that will contribute to national development. Albay Representative Joey Salceda, who is a principal author, said the reduced tax rate will alleviate the burden of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Miguel Hill.
Heavy rainfall caused by monsoon rains resulted in flooding in some areas in Metro Manila on Friday morning. The Metro Manila Development Authority reports that parts of EDSA in Quezon City and Pasig were hit by knee to gutter-deep floods. The floods caused heavy traffic around EDSA Santolan, leaving vehicles and commuters alike stranded. Other flooded areas are still passable, with a few subsiding quickly. Pag-asa says the rains were brought by the southwest monsoon affecting some parts of the country. More rains are expected throughout the weekend. Malacanang says Deputy Overall Ombudsman Melchor Carandang is worthy of dismissal from service after he used rumor to destroy President Rodrigo Duterte and his family. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says Carandang has been given enough opportunity to answer the administrative complaints against him. Roque says Carandang alleged that Duterte and his family accumulated ill-gotten wealth, which the Anti-Money Laundering Council has claimed was not true. Carandang had also publicly revealed the information, even as the law provides that the investigation of anti-money laundering cases must be confidential. Roque meanwhile says the question on whether Carandang should be disbarred will be left to the Supreme Court. Former Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez and his allies at the House of Representatives have elected ABS party list Representative Eugene De Vera as their minority leader. Ilocos Norte Representative Rodolfo Fariñas says De Vera was unanimously chosen as the new minority leader. The Alvarez group is competing for the opposition bloc with the Liberal Party Makabayan bloc and Quezon Representative Danilo Suarez group, which seeks to retain its minority status. Fariñas earlier hit the Suarez bloc for abandoning the minority by voting for non-speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Fariñas warned the current leadership that the matter on the minority issue will be brought up before the Supreme Court if it will insist on Suarez as the minority leader. The government media is expanding to various locations in Visayas and Mindanao. Presidential Communications Operations Office Secretary Martin Andanar says the construction of the Mindanao Media Hub is expected to be finished by December 2019. The Mindanao Media Hub is a 700 million peso facility in Davao City that will house television and radio stations for Mindanao. As soon as it is finished, a new media hub for Visayas will be up in Cebu City. Meanwhile, a foreign country will be funding the government's Strategic Communications Learning and Research Center in Malaybalay, Bukidnon. Another foreign country will also fund a disaster broadcasting center that will be built in Siargao, Surigao del Norte. The PCOO's plan to set up government media throughout the country is in line with President Rodrigo Duterte's mandate to decentralize the government. Still to come, the PNP and AFP find links to the Abu Sayyaf in the bombing at the checkpoint in Lamitan, Basilan. Cordillera leaders seek to use the momentum of the Bangsamoro Organic Law to push for the Cordillera region's autonomy. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
It's a medical surgical mission, which is different from other medical missions because here operations are involved. The focus is on children's surgical needs. The other thing is that it's happening here in Marawi.
Yung mga ibang missioners, medyo takot pumunta. So, ibig kami, pumunta kami sa Tawi-Tawi, Bukidnon, Jensan, Sarangani, and now Marawi. With the help, of course, with the cabinet spouses, at least feel secure din kami na may mga security.
Mula sa puso, kami ay nagpapasalamat sa World Surgical Foundation and the Duterte Cabinet Spouses. At ginagawa natin ito kasi marami sa aming mga kababayan talagang hindi nila kaya magbayad ng operasyon. Talagang walang access sila sa medical assistance.
Each one of us merong mga sariling areas of expertise. What was common among us was we needed to support in some way the work of development that our husbands, our spouses were doing. We are here also to work, as quietly as possible in areas of educational, relief, this social civic work. So, paano kami nabuo? Like-minded people who have an interest in helping out whatever development needs on a small scale, on a small scale basis. Sometimes yung small scale na yan nagiging large scale because some of the relief work that we have been doing are really national relief. Then the nice thing about it is that we like each other. We have become friends.
The PNP urges the public not to believe news of the Islamic State claiming responsibility for the car bomb explosion in Lamitan, Basilan. This comes as government troops identify a person of interest connected to the Abu Sayyaf. More on this from Rom Dulfo.
The PNP calls on the public not to believe reports of the international terror group ISIS claiming responsibility for the car bomb explosion that killed at least 10 persons in Lamitan, Basilan last Tuesday. PNP spokesman Benigno Durana says ISIS claims responsibility for supposed terror attacks as part of their propaganda. Durana says their investigation points to the Basilan-based faction of the Abu Sayyaf led by Furuji Indama, adding that the incident was the result of a failed extortion attempt. The Western Mindanao Command also sees a link with the Abu Sayyaf following the arrest of Jainul alias Abdul Ghani, a resident of Barangay Maganda, Lamitan City. Based on intelligence reports, the suspect has relatives in the Abu Sayyaf and is engaged in suspected terrorist activity. Abdul Ghani was arrested for illegal possession of explosives. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo has proposed at least 5 economic measures that would cushion the impact of rising inflation. Arroyo and the current economic managers have reportedly drawn up measures based on a commodities contribution to the 5.2% July inflation rate. Albay Representative Joey Salceda says the measures would reduce tariff on oil, electricity, and food commodities such as fish, rice, and meat. Also, the NFA will be called upon to purchase 500,000 metric tons of well-milled rice with staggered deliveries over 5 to 6 months. Meantime, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas was asked to consider setting an additional 25 basis point hike on its key rates to cleanse expectations of any opportunistic content. Salceda said once the measures are carried out, the country's inflation rate will be cut by 1.8 percentage points. The Social Security system has expressed support for the administration's tax reform program, particularly the second train law package. SSS President and CEO Emmanuel Dooc says the reduction of corporate income tax rates will encourage more investors to open businesses, thus paving the way to get more members. The increase will boost the agency's revenues, which in turn will allow SSS to provide more services to its members. The agency currently has around 36 million members, but only about 15 million are active members. The SSS chief said reforms in the country's tax system will help provide jobs to more people and allow them to be enrolled for social services. Cordillera leaders have decided to use the popularity of the Bangsamoro Organic Law in pushing for their region's own autonomy bid. Regional Development Council Secretary Jedida Aquino says Cordillera officials have lined up activities this August and September to garner support for their long-sought self-governance. The upland leaders will also seek President Rodrigo Duterte's help in declaring the pending Cordillera autonomy bills as priority and urgent bills. Undersecretary Ryan Estevez of the Presidential Legislative Liaison Office urged the region's leaders to take advantage of the popularity of the BOL in pushing for Cordillera's autonomy. The creation of the Cordillera as a region came about following an indigenous peace agreement between the government under the late President Corazon Aquino and rebel priest Conrado Balweg. ARMM Governor Mujeeb Hataman has ordered the region's Department of Public Works and Highways to speed up the completion of pending infrastructure projects in their respective areas. Hataman said he will also meet local government executives and project contractors to ensure the smooth completion of the projects. Hataman said the deadline for the projects has been set within this year in preparation for the assumption of the incoming Bangsamoro government. To date, the DPWH-ARMM has paved over 1,500 kilometers of roads, built over 80 bridges, and improved the water supply and flood control system in the region, among others. Up next, the ARMM donates the proceeds of its regional food fest to fire victims in Sulu. A traditional Maranao feasting tradition becomes a highlight of a festival promoting Mindanao's culture. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Itong this information, ito po yung national campaign against disinformation. Dahil ito pong problema po natin ng mga fake news or disinformation ay napakalaking problema po ng ating lipunan. At kayo po mga kabataan, kayo po yung tamang audience dito dahil majority po ng mga users ng social media ay mga kabataan.
Nung sinabi ko sa inyo, magtatayo ako ng Youth for Truth and I will make them all the warriors for truth. Ang battle cry namin, dismiss disinformation. Kasi nilinaw nila yung palang disinformation may intention to ruin an institution, a society, or a person. So, inisip ko nga dismiss this man. Yeah? Pero masyadong mahaba pag nag-hashtag ka. So, dismiss this information. Humingi pa sila ng suggestion. Ano pa bang pwede mong gawin para mas maiksi yung dismiss this, hashtag dismiss this? Sabi ko, hashtag FFF. Fight fake news forever.
So, Provincial Communications Officers Network aims to build rapport between the Presidential Communications Operations Office and the local government unit of each region. So, lahat kami sa PCOO would like to build relationships in different communities. Okay, ito ang plano ng PCOO para sa mga tao, para sa sambayanan, to keep connected and engaged with all of you.
The autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao will donate the proceeds from the region's food festival to the estimated 30,000 residents of Holosulu left homeless by fire. The food festival showcased the culinary delights of the Bangsamoro and catered to thousands of visitors. It was held on July 27 and raised over 400,000 pesos. On July 24, a massive fire razed to the ground some 5,000 homes in barangays Walled City and Busbus in Hulo. The ARMM's Humanitarian Emergency Action Response Team has delivered some 5 million pesos worth of relief assistance to the fire victims. The Department of Social Welfare and Development has also distributed cash grants amounting to over 16 million pesos under its Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program. President Rodrigo Duterte, together with ARMM officials, visited the fire victims last week. The Department of Health launches the Live Free campaign, a search for the 2018 HIV/AIDS ambassadors. The pageant aims to increase the public awareness on ways to prevent HIV/AIDS among the youth. Dr. Gerard Beymac, Program Manager for HIV/AIDS Sexually Transmitted Infections, says the campaign aims to inform the public that DOH can help those with HIV at an early stage. Latest figures show that the Philippines has registered the highest incidence of HIV and AIDS in the Asia and the Pacific. With the pageant, Beymac said they also hope to encourage local officials to help in curbing the growing number of HIV/AIDS cases in the country. Beauty Queen and DOH Ambassador Kylie Versosa joined the launch, saying that she is also pushing for heightening public awareness on HIV/AIDS prevention. Ceres Negros had to settle for a draw against Singapore's Home United at the start of the two-leg AFC Cup Asian Zone Finals at the Panad Stadium in Bacolod City. Ceres Negros dearly missed the offensive power brought by Bienve Marañon as the club was held to a 1-1 draw. Blake Powell converted early in the game to give Ceres its only goal. But Isaka Sernak followed up on Cheryl Ishak's header to give Home United a vital away goal that puts the club at a slight edge for the rematch back in Singapore. The next match will be on Wednesday, August 8, where Ceres aims to score more away goals to win. A traditional feasting ceremony of the Maranao has become the highlight of a festival aiming to foster peace and unity by promoting Mindanaoan culture. More on this feature story from Sweet Lukman.
Mindanao is home to a wide diversity of religions and cultures. Therefore, one can find great variations in traditional feasts. In the luxuriant homeland of Maranao tribe in Lanao provinces of Mindanao, the Pagana Maranao is given utmost significance because it fosters peace and unity. Hence, Pagana is inscribed in the lined-up activities of the National Commission for Culture and Arts as it holds the grandest launch of Kalinaw Kultura Mindanao. In collaboration with the Philippine Information Agency, Kalinaw Kultura Mindanao is designed to create a massive and intensive cultural dissemination celebration and promotions program on the diverse Mindanao cultures through various media platforms. It features a collaboration of different institutions from the government and civil society organizations. While talking to the sidelines during Pagana Feast at the Ethnic Center in Iligan City, a Maranao community leader, Farmida Macabando, said the Maranaos are best known for their love of beauty as shown in their art, poetry, the epic, and the royal type of Philippine architecture. This penchant of beauty and grandeur is revealed in the warmth of their hospitality shown in their prestige feast called Pagana. Pagana is afforded to guests during special occasions such as enthronements, weddings, graduations, engagements, merrymaking, and homecoming of people who had gone to the Hajj or Islamic pilgrimage, and during the two religious feasts, Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr. The occasion begins with a solemn prayer, after which guests are lavishly welcomed with a sumptuous banquet marked with vibrant native attire, traditional dances, and pleasant company. In the grandest launch of Kalinaw Kultura Mindanao, graced by Undersecretary Harold Clavite of PIA and Dr. Pilar Banaag of NCCA, a Pagana dinner was afforded to the guests. Professor Christian Aguado, cultural anthropologist of Mindanao State University Iligan Institute of Technology, explained every detail of the occasion while guests savor the Pagana Maranao dishes. The whole display of the dining hall is decorated with accents of gold and silver, symbolizing the colors of prestige and nobility. Since Maranaos are Muslims, food should be halal or permissible by Islamic law. Pork is strictly prohibited in the dulang. The banquet of exquisite cuisine served to the guests features a unique blend of flavors and spices, according to Professor Aguado. Aguado further explained that one popular spice included in the Maranao dish is palapa, which is made from native onion bulbs, ginger, and chili peppers simmered in a coconut oil. To give a festive air on the occasion, traditional dancers perform the kapa malong malong, which shows 100 ways of wearing a tubular piece of cloth called malong. The spirit of hospitality is highly valued by the Maranao, seeing that it fosters a sense of belongingness, peace, unity, and harmony in their society. The Pagana remains a signature of the timeless beauty of Maranao culture. Together with Ruby Leonora Balistoy, for PNA Newsroom, Sweet Lukman, Philippine Information Agency.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's top stories. The House and Ways and Means Committee approves in principle the second package of the train law. Monsoon rains caused floods in parts of EDSA, stranding commuters early Friday morning. The PNP and AFP find links to the Abu Sayyaf in the bombing at the checkpoint in Lamitan, Basilan. And the ARMM donates the proceeds of its regional food fest to the recent fire victims in Sulu. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags on all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Have a great weekend.